Hey y'all, happy Sunday. It is Sunday today. That's weird. I hope everyone's doing well. I basically spent my whole weekend playing Persona 5. I think I mentioned I bought Persona 5. I hadn't really played it yet at all. Now I've played it a lot more, although I still feel like I've barely started in a way. Not necessarily in a bad way, but I know there are like way more characters I'm gonna get, and I'm still only on like the second dungeon. So there's a lot of game in there. I'm mostly enjoying it. Like, it's weird, and it's tough to sort of. I'm trying to not use a guide because I just don't want to be constantly checking everything and second guessing like how I manage my time. Okay, so let's go back here a little bit. In Persona you have sort of very set chunks of time where you can do things. You have generally a block after school and a block in the evening on school days, which, because you're in Japan, is 6 days a week. The only actual day off is Sunday. And you still only get like two chunks of time on Sunday, I think. You get like the daytime and then the evening. So those are sort of the times when you're allowed to do things, and it's sort of a time management game, and you have to, decide what you want to prioritize so you can hang out with your friends, which improves your relationships and gives you various benefits. You can work to get money and skills, you can study, and you can go on dungeon crawls essentially in various places. So, again, I'm trying not to get too into like seeing what I need to do to foster various relationships and like trying to maximize my, you know, skill gain through reading guides or whatever, but that also means that because I'm not checking those things, I'm like, well, am I doing the right thing with my limited time? And that's a weird place to be, as I have so much time now and I'm still using it wrong, mostly to play Persona 5, I guess. It is kind of nice to be like running around a crowded city though, like, you get to go to movies and restaurants and hang out with friends. It's all very escapist right now. Um, but yeah, it's definitely a fun game. My brother's super into it, so I'm not as into it, but I do want to keep playing, and I'm wondering if, like, as I get more into it, I will also get more into it. You know, once I've gotten more characters. My current characters are fine, but I'm not, like, crazy about any of them, and I'm hoping there will be cooler ones who I enjoy interacting with more and stuff like that. I do have a cat. It's kind of an obnoxious cat, but, it is a cat, so that makes sense. Or not a cat, but it looks like a cat. The cat itself is the one who says it's not a cat. And like it seems like a lot of games now have the option to play in Japanese or English, which is super cool. I used to have to like buy the Japanese game and play it on my Japanese PlayStation that I bought. Like a loser, winner, cool kid. I did buy it. Did I buy it in Japan? No, I think I just bought a game when I was in Japan and then I realized I had to buy a PlayStation that could play it, which I still have. I've drastically reduced the number of PlayStation 2s I have, and I still have like three of them. But I'm going to keep downsizing. I do not need all those PlayStation 2s as the games get re released on other systems. Um. mm, Just got a text that my mom has a bad sore throat, so that's not great. But I'm going to assume it's just a bad sore throat. My dad said this after he said that the dog is healing amazingly well from surgery, because my dad's priority in all conversations we've had recently is updating me on the health of the dog and not on, say, his mother, who is recovering well from having COVID, but also very confused all the time because she's like 90 years old and has dementia. But yeah, mostly the first update is always the dog. He does love that dog. She's very cute. Anyway, give me a second while I text him. should text my dad more often during these. That gives me an excuse to not blather on about video games. Yeah, other than that, it's been a pretty, not a lot else going on this weekend. We did our grocery shopping. I bought, one of those little, uh, wheelie sort of totes to go shopping since we're not really getting zip cars like we used to. And it's a nice one. It's got like these 3 wheels so it can climb stairs, which is honestly really cool. And so we took that shopping and it made everything less heavy, which was nice. And we bought new sheets for our bed, which I have to say, fancy sheets are awesome. They're so comfy. We love them. They're linen. Oh, it's really nice. They're so comfy. I want to go to sleep now. Anyway, yeah, so I've been watching a lot of Chopped on Hulu. We're in a teen tournament where it's all these very young children who are very excited about being on Chopped, and I'm proud of every one of them. But obviously, I have my favorites, and I hope those ones win, and that the other children lose. Cats are good. My parents' dog is recovering well from. She got spayed, so it's not like a bad surgery or anything, but they were worried. My dad loves that dog so much. It's good they have her. Okay, thank goodness it is now 8:02 and I can stop talking about video games and my parents' dog. This one's on the shorter side, about 4,300 words, so expect that. Can you sing? Clark asks. Sing? Bellamy asks, frowning over the pile of scripts he's reviewing. Sing what? Anything. Kind of. One of the plays I did in high school was a musical. Wait, it was? How did I not know this? Demands Clark, grinning and shifting closer. What musical? Who were you? How dorky was your costume? I need every detail, thanks. And Bellamy closes his eyes, wincing. Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. I was the Pharaoh. Clark cackles, which is exactly what he was expecting. Is there a video? Please tell me there's a video. Don't bother lying. Octavia will definitely tell me. This is why I didn't tell you. You were pretending to be Elvis. You once released a song called Teach Me How to Live Again and had to duet with a CGI dolphin. Hey, that was a real dolphin with CGI expressions, she says, cheerful. It's hard to embarrass Clark because her entire life has been absurd. And it wasn't singing with me, it was just providing moral support. But that's actually kind of why I was asking. I cannot duet with a computer-enhanced dolphin, he says firmly. You could, don't sell yourself short. But seriously, Disney Channel wants us to do another movie for them. Bellamy stares at her. Seriously? Seriously. I guess they've been getting bad press because they haven't had me back to be in anything since I came out, and they're trying to prove that they're fine with it, so they're offering us a movie. They want to know if it can be a musical. Can I say no even though I can sing? He asks, eyeing her warily. I don't want to be in a Disney Channel original musical. You could be the next Zac Efron. He pauses. Okay, honestly, I can't tell if you want to do this or you're just fucking with me. Give me a clue so I can figure out if I should be seriously thinking about it. She leans her head against his shoulder, thinking it over. I don't care about Disney's PR, she says, but I think it would probably be nice if we did something with them again, so it's not like... She sighs. Not everything I do is some carefully calculated political gambit, but I did kind of want to help kids struggling with their sexualities when I came out, and it'd be cool if I didn't give the impression Disney had blacklisted me. Since they apparently haven't. Yeah, I get that. Also, she says, grinning, come on, it would be hilarious. Can you even imagine how much of a train wreck a Disney Channel original musical starring you and me would be? That's like a step beyond regular DCOM. It'll be so much fun. Why are you convinced fun and nightmare are synonymous? He grumbles. Come on, we'll learn shitty songs and shitty dances, we'll pretend we've never seen each other naked because God forbid any Disney Channel leads are familiar with sex, and when we get home we can get drunk and laugh at the script. So you want to do this, he says. I kind of really do, yeah, she admits. I never got to be in a shitty Disney musical. I just released shitty Disney singles from my shitty Disney non-musicals. Do we have a plot summary yet? Untitled Clark Griffin and Bellamy Blake project, she says. All details pending our agreement. Wow, I get to be part of the untitled project name? You're in the big leagues now, Belle. He sighs. I'm not singing with any CGI animals, okay? I want that in my contract. What about CGI people or inanimate objects? Please don't give them ideas. He kisses her hair. I'm in if you are, but if it sucks, I'm blaming you forever. Deal, she says. Now, where are these videos of you pretending to be Elvis? He honestly would not have been upset if he never worked for the Disney Channel again. Obviously, he's grateful to them for hiring him, introducing him to his girlfriend, and helping him claw his way out of miserable poverty with his sister, but that doesn't mean he wants to keep working for them. He cannot be that Disney Channel dude. He refuses to let that be his thing. But one last ride? He can handle one last ride. The project keeps shifting based on executive meddling and the desire to make the film into some kind of event. He and Clark have also been very, very clear that this is a one-time thing, and if it does become a franchise, they're not going to be involved. It's obvious the execs are disappointed, but not disappointed enough to can the project. By the time they get the script, it's basically reverse Enchanted, and honestly a lot better than he expected. They're courting the Princess Proper fans with Clark as a classic Disney princess trying to avoid an arranged marriage and longing for adventure, and Bellamy is an average dude from the real world who ends up in this ridiculous fantasy land, learning about seeing the magic in the everyday and shit. It's still hokey and slated to have the same director as the High School Musical franchise, but Bellamy can't deny he's a little excited about the whole thing. He likes acting with Clark. It's not bad, right? She asks with undisguised excitement. No, it's surprisingly painless. I think they really want you to come back to them. No way in hell. But it'll be a fun project to go out on. Yeah, but... But what? I can't help but notice there are all sorts of opportunities for me to have to sing with CGI animals, he says, keeping his voice grave. I am in a magical other world with a lot of talking animals. And we didn't get that restriction in your contract. She sounds pleased enough that he can't help throwing her distrustful look. You didn't tell them we wanted singing animals, did you? I told them that if they wanted to do singing animals, we'd understand. Jesus fucking Christ, he says. You are the worst girlfriend I've ever had. Yeah, but just by default, I'm also the best girlfriend you've ever had. Also, you really need to start watching your language again. You're a role model, Bellamy. Go to Disney Channel, he tells her, and she pecks him on the cheek. Not until we start filming. Bellamy went back to his old high school once after he dropped out to be on Disney to get his GED, and it was fucking weird. Going back to the studio feels a little like that, this surreal experience of stepping back into a life he thought he'd outgrown and left behind, something that really isn't his anymore. I feel like a creep just being here, he tells Clark. Aren't we too old for tweens to relate to us? You're only 21, dumbass, she says. Language. You're only 21, Disney Channel. If they ever find out we do that, they're gonna fire us. They're not gonna fire us. We're only employed for like a month and a half. It would be more work for them to get new stars at this point. She squeezes his fingers. This is gonna be fun. Keep telling yourself that. His first meeting of the day is with his singing coach, a cute, quiet girl named Maya who tells him she's a big fan. You don't have to say that, he assures her, and she smiles. No, I really am. I worked with Clark on a movie a few years ago, so I keep up with her. You guys always look like you're having a really good time. We try to. He frowns. Were you like 5 when you worked with her? Aren't there child labor laws? She rolls her eyes. I was trying to be an actress. I wasn't a singing coach yet. Turns out I like being behind the scenes better. She claps her hands together. Okay, so I heard you can sing? Sure. I've never done it professionally or anything, but I can carry a tune. Okay, we have a sort of Disney Channel style, I guess. Of course you do. It's a brand, you remember this. So I'm going to coach you on presentation, I guess. You're going to release a single. There will be a music video. I'm never forgiving Clark for this. Less talking, more singing, says Maya. Project. The song he's apparently releasing as a single is pretty inoffensive. It's a love song about how if this is the last fun thing he gets to do before college, he won't mind because Clark's character is so great. If they try to put an enamored squirrel into it, he's going to set fire to the studio, but it's in his range, and when he sings it, he doesn't actively want to die, so he's counting it as an overall win. Maya looks less pleased. Okay, so, this is gonna sound weird, but you need to be less attractive. He says. Like, wardrobe? Plastic surgery? What are we talking about here? Have you watched Clark's videos? Yeah, we play drinking games with them. So, Clark is, she's gorgeous, obviously, but she's Maya huffs. Basically, you have to be less, pretend you don't know how babies are made. Bellamy opens and closes his mouth, pauses, stares at her. She gives him a pleasant smile. Clark did say we'd have to pretend we've never seen each other naked, he says. I wasn't trying to be, sexy. I know you weren't, says Maya. It's just, I know it's been a couple years, but try to remember how it is on Disney. You're non-threatening. Act like you don't even have a penis. How much do you drink at night to forget that this is your job, he asks. Less than you think, she says, bright. From the top, but asexual this time. Thanks, he says. Good notes. It is weird getting back into the Disney Channel groove. They're notably old for a DCOM, so they're playing 18 again and doing a slightly more adult storyline. Bellamy's character, Josh, is about to go to college and not ready to leave his childhood behind, so he makes a wish that nothing has to change and ends up teleported to Clark's magical kingdom where she's having relationship problems. It's actually pretty relatable, even with the singing animals. That's probably why he's having trouble getting in the mindset. A real person would do a lot of these things in this situation. I'm not used to that. You acted like a real person on Princess Proper, Clark points out. Yeah, but that was in spite of the script. All my energy went into rationalizing whatever shit Kane wanted me to do that week. So this is too realistic and you don't know how to deal? Clark asks, sounding amused. Not in a Disney Channel way. He pauses. I meant that as an actual descriptor, not replacement profanity. Maya keeps telling me to be less sexually aware. Clark giggles and nuzzles his neck. What I'm hearing is that everyone can tell you're not a virgin anymore. How come they can't tell with you, he grumbles. You've had exactly as much sex as I have. I'm better at acting than you are, she says, prim. Yeah, I already knew that. You are having fun though, right? And he is, of course he is. It's great to be working with her again, and their chemistry is natural and easy, even if he is repeatedly told to tone it down. It's nice to be the romantic lead right from the start, too, the one who is saving Clark's character from an arranged marriage to some douchey prince who's too old for her. It's awesome, he says, and means it. We should do all our projects together. I keep trying to get in my contract, but no luck yet. Give it like 10 years, we can get cast in some Law & Order spin-off that will never die. As long as we have a plan, he agrees. So, how do you act with an animal sidekick? He asks her the next week, looking at the dog who's going to be following him around for most of the film. Apparently, CGI is too expensive, so they're going with as many practical effects as they can. Which is great. Bellamy gets to hang out with an actual dog. And she's a pretty great dog. Maybe when they're done, he can take her home. Octavia really wants a menagerie, and she's mildly annoyed she's spending a month of her summer vacation in LA. Another dog would totally help. It's the best, says Clark, scratching the dog behind the ears. Everyone cares about the sidekick more than you, so the pressure is really off. You can phone it in and no one will even notice. This is your secret, huh? He asks. Your early success was all due to acting with animals? Plus I'm cute. You are cute, but not as cute as the dog. Thanks, love you too. The dog puts her head in Clark's lap, and Clark grins and scratches her ear. And scratches her. Clark totally wants to keep the dog too. What's her name? Daffodil. That's adorable. Don't be jealous your animal sidekick is a bunny. A saucy bunny, she says. My coworkers are never going to let me live this down. I'm on a serious show. We get Emmy nominations. This was your idea, he says. You have no one to blame but yourself. The actor playing the guy Clark is supposed to marry, this total asshole named Cage, and seriously, why are so many Disney Channel employees asshole? Comes in and gives them a haughty look. We aren't interrupting, are we? I believe you're filming on the other stage today, Clark. Will's makeup got smudged. We're back in 15, says Clark, smooth. But if you guys are going to start, I'll get out of your hair. She smiles at Bellamy and squeezes his hand. Good luck duetting with a dog. You're the worst thing that's ever happened to me, he calls after her, and she just smirks, not buying it all. He gives Cage an overly bright smile. So me and the dog are singing about how we won't let you marry Clark, right? This is definitely where you wanted to be with your career. Must be exciting. You're the one doing it, Cage shoots back. Yeah, and it's awesome, he says. Come on, I'm telling you and a dog how much I love my girlfriend. I'm excited. Let's go. Cage squints at him like he's looking for some sign of sarcasm in Bellamy's tone, but there's none to be found. Bellamy honestly kind of loves this stupid movie. It's going to be ridiculous and campy, and people will make fun of him about it for years, but it's going to be fun, too. It is fun. And as it turns out, it's easier to be asexual and non-threatening when you're acting opposite a dog. Maybe Disney is onto something with animal sidekicks. You ready, Daffodil? He asks her. Right on cue, she barks. Always a professional. Yeah, that's what I thought. You're actually a really good singer, you know? Clark asks. They did their duet today, and it had been weirdly romantic. He's honestly glad Maya spent so long reminding him that he needs to be non-sexual, because he did kind of want to drag Clark off to make out the whole time they were singing. He might be coming down with something. Disney Princess Pox. So I hear, yeah, says Bellamy. No, but you should do it more. Yeah? You think I've got a Broadway future? He asks. Not white. Maybe I can be a Hamilton understudy. Use my ethnicness to my advantage for once. I can't rap, but I know all of Burr's songs. Clark laughs. Sure, that's an option. I like it, listening to you. He feels himself starting to grin. Holy shit, you're totally into me singing. This is what you get for being on Disney Channel in your formative years. You get turned on by all the wrong things. Shut up, you're hot. Your voice is hot. And I don't know. She makes a face. You might have a point about my formative years, she admits, grudging. It's cool, he says, tugging her into his lap. I can fix it. What exactly are we fixing? She asks. How hot you find my singing. I stopped by my high school, they had DVDs of that musical I was in. This will definitely destroy all sexual attraction forever. Clark perks up, grinning, shifting around to look at him. Wait, really? Octavia said she couldn't get one. Yeah, I told her there weren't any. She was like 9, she still trusted me. But I figure I've seen all your embarrassing shit. You deserve to see mine. Clark gets booze while he sets up the DVD, but she stops him before he can actually get it playing. Wait, I want you to set the scene first, she says, settling into his arms. I need backstory. When was this? February, sophomore year of high school. Just a few months before I met you. So you're 16? Yep. And this was your first play? No, I was always kind of curious about doing drama shit, but I was worried about leaving O alone. But then she started doing this dance program after school, so I figured I could do something too. So I was in 12th night? Yeah, in the fall. Who were you in 12th night? Sebastian? That's not nearly as funny. Sorry, my acting career isn't as ridiculous as yours. So you had fun and figured you'd go out for the musical? Pretty much. It was cool pretending I had a social life. And O was really proud of me. She's always been my biggest fan. Aw, says Clark, smiling. Okay, I think I've got it visualized. You're 16, you have no friends, and you're gonna pretend to be Elvis. I can picture it. Great. Do we have to watch the whole thing, or can we just skip to my scenes? I need the full experience, obviously. I totally would have gone to your school plays if I'd known you existed. He kisses her temple. I would have been so nervous I totally choked. He lets out a breath. Okay, ready? Are you actually nervous now? Yeah, I think you're gonna break up with me, he says. She looks dubious and he sighs. It's just weird. High school. I've lost touch with all these people except for the ones who want to be actors and are hoping I've gotten in for them. It doesn't even feel like my life. She squeezes his hand, but her voice is teasing when she says, I rocked your entire world. He laughs. You really did, though. You did too, she says, and steals the remote from him. Okay, let's do this. And of course, it's actually really fun. There's nothing like drunkenly heckling a bunch of kids who aren't present and can't be hurt by it. He's not in the first act, so they've got a decent buzz by the time he shows up, and Clark is fucking delighted. Your hair! Oh my god, you're so cute. I totally would have had a crush on you. He snorts. This is the age I was when we met, he says. Seriously, you basically knew me when I was doing this. And I had a crush on you when we met, she points out easily. But you're actually really cool. Shockingly cool, given what you were working with and who you are as a person. Thanks. It's almost like I'm a good actor or something. Almost. Also, this is doing nothing to make me less attracted to you when you sing. You're still really hot when you sing. You have the weirdest kinks. I'd offer to help you out, but getting you off while we watch my high school play is too weird for me. She pauses and then deliberately takes his hand and slides it up under her shirt to her breast. Really? He holds out for about half a second. Nope, I'm fine with it, he says, picking her up off his lap so he can press her into the couch. They miss the end of the show, but it's totally worth it. Bellamy has a role on a CW teen drama because the CW apparently really is where you go when you've moved on from the Disney Channel. It's honestly just as ridiculous as Princess Proper was, but in different ways. He was a recurring guest star last season, but he's upgraded to main cast for the second season, and it's a pretty good job. He doesn't like any of his coworkers as much as he likes Clark, but that's probably for the best. If he fell in love with someone at every show he worked on, his life would get really awkward really quickly. So, yeah, as TV gigs go, it's pretty good, and he's happy. He has a nice house with his serious girlfriend and his sister, and he's somewhat successful in his chosen field. His life at 21 looks a lot better than he ever expected it to. Then the promos for the movie come out, and everyone on set starts making fun of him. Which, okay, fair enough. He is in a Disney Channel original movie, and he is singing with a dog. He deserves all the mockery he gets, and he takes it with good cheer. He draws the line, though, at going to their premiere party. Come on, says Kevin. It's gonna be awesome. We'll have a drinking game and everything. Sorry, he says, grinning. Sounds awesome, don't get me wrong, but I've already got a date with my girlfriend. Bring her, she's awesome. More the merrier. Private party. Kevin squints at him. Jesus, please tell me you aren't gonna have sex while you watch the Disney Channel. I get that's where you come from, but that's fucked up. I cannot guarantee we won't be overcome with lust, he says, deadpanned. I don't want to subject you guys to that. Kevin is still looking wary, and he finally breaks and grins. Seriously, it's just kind of something we want to do on our own. We will always watch our big premieres with just the two of us and my sister. Jesus, you're the most married 20-year-old I've ever met. That's adorable, but damn. I'm 21, thanks, he says. But the rest of the statement stands, yeah. Clark is still on her serious, critically acclaimed show, so she, of course, gets even more shit than he does, which doesn't even make sense. Compared to the other things Clark has had to do for the Disney Channel in the past, this movie is actually really respectable. On the other hand, given they've both been hiding their phones around the house and blasting each other's embarrassing singles at each other at weird moments, he can't actually blame anyone else for making fun of her about the whole thing. They are starring in a Disney Channel original musical, and everything is fair game. It premieres on a Friday, and they order pizza and get it set up on the couch with the dogs. The cat with the dogs, yes. The cats know better than to get involved in this. You think Daffodil is excited? Octavia asks, scratching the dog behind the ears. It's your big premiere, girl. Daffodil looks like she could not care less, and Bellamy grins. She's a diva. She knows I get more screen time than she does, and she's sulking. Wait, the main character of this movie isn't a dog? Asks Octavia. Never mind. I don't even want to watch it anymore. Bellamy has a duet with her, Clark points out. If you don't want to see your brother singing a duet with a dog, I don't know what to say to you. Only one? It's not a duet, Bellamy grumbles. She just sort of periodically howls. The dog doesn't talk. Clark has to actually sing with a bunny. I thought you guys said this movie was kinda good. Or kinda okay, Octavia says, sounding dubious. It is, Clark says. Kind of okay is a really low bar to clear. We make decisions real humans might actually make. We have sort of adult conflicts. The animals are cute without being totally overpowering. We're not going to win any awards, but she glances at him. I'm kind of proud of it, honestly. Bellamy reaches over and squeezes her hand, and then tugs her into his side for good measure. There are worse notes to go out on, he agrees. That's a line from your fucking single, Octavia says. You're not allowed to quote your own single, Belle. That's like so douchey. I was being romantic, he says. Shut up and watch the movie and let me make out with my girlfriend in peace. You're the worst, Belle. True, he says, and leans in Clark's ear and sings soft, worst notes to go out on, making her shiver. You really are the worst. I Disney Channel hate you, she says, but the way she says it, it sounds a lot like yes. So he wraps his arm around her, kisses her hair, and settles in to watch. Okay, that's the end of that fic. I will see y'all the next time I see you, virtually, and have a good last few hours of your weekend. Night, y'all.